Hi you guys, welcome to your April 2025 monthly forecast. Before I begin, I have to apologize if I sneeze, cough, or lose my voice. Okay, with the weather going up and down here the way it is, I either have a cold or allergies or both at the same time. So please excuse me, okay? And thank you so much to my subscribers for your continued support, for your likes, shares, and comments. If you're new to my channel and you like this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. You'll be notified each time I upload something. There's also links in the description box below. There is one to my website where you can see some of the services that I offer, but you can also just email me. That email address is also in the description box, and it's easier to just ask me if there is something that I do. Okay? Also, check out my weekly forecast, which is now daily shorts, and I'm going to do something a little different this month with the monthly forecast. Okay, for those of you who seem to really love the shorts, the monthly forecast will always exist as a regular video, but some of you are still not aware that there's a link within the short video to the full monthly forecast, and you're just clicking on that short and you're just getting just a snippet of the monthly forecast. You're not hearing the whole thing. So for those of you who love the shorts, okay, I'm going to break it down into parts, the monthly forecast for you. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Maybe, after a while, you'll just, decide to click on the link and listen to it fully, the full monthly forecast all in one video. But if you prefer the shorts, that's what I'm going to try this time. We'll see how it works out, okay? So, now for your forecast. Hi, Gemini. So, okay, well, the month starts off with Venus and Mercury still in Pisces in your 10th house, okay, along with Saturn. I did mention that both of these planets have been moving back and forth between Pisces and Aries, right? So now they're back in Pisces. Venus is direct on the 7th. Mercury is direct on the 7th. In Pisces, moves into Aries on the 16th, and Venus turns direct on the 12th and moves into Aries on the 30th. So these planets have already done this before. They've been in Venus. Venus and Mercury have been in Aries, then Pisces. Okay, so now they're still in Pisces. They're turning direct, and they're going to move into Aries again in direct motion, and then finally move into Taurus, etc., and then next your sign, into Gemini, okay? But anyways, so if you've been listening to my videos, you know that I say when Venus is in your 10th house, your first house, or your own sign, that, you can do no wrong. People are just really drawn to you at this time. So that's still in effect here, okay? Especially when Venus turns direct, even in retrograde, it's still in effect there, but when it turns direct, you may actually be hearing a little bit more, like compliments of some kind. People may say something very nice about you, usually your appearance, okay? If they don't say publicly, like in, whatever, usually this is, unless you're very popular and you are in some kind of field where you do interviews, okay, people would normally talk about you, let's say like on social media, okay, so someone could be discussing you on social media, right? And like I said, it's usually about your appearance, how beautiful or handsome you are, how nicely you dress, your style, something or other, okay? So, with Saturn still here, it will be moving shortly over the summer, just like Neptune has left Pisces and moved into Aries very briefly over the summer. Both of these planets will eventually leave Pisces and move into Aries next year, okay? But we're going to get a little bit of a preview over the summer with both of these planets leaving Pisces and moving into Aries. So now, you know, you don't have Neptune here in the 10th house. So that kind of helps, you know. All you have here is Saturn still, you know, moving forward within your career, probably doing a lot of the really hard work that you, over the past couple years when Saturn has been here. You may have been dumped on by higher-ups or colleagues or who, you know, knew that you were still like on your way up, so they burdened you with their own work or something or other. You know what I mean? Whatever. Okay, let's put it this way. You really put the work in, and if you get any kind of promotion or increase in pay or award of some kind, you know, you earned it, right? Saturn in a 10th house sometimes isn't a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work, but sometimes it's because people are like standing in your way. They're preventing you from moving forward, moving up in some way or other, okay? Anyway, so the sun is in Aries, right? Up until the 19th. Yeah, okay, and Venus and Mercury will be here, right? And Neptune is here now in your 11th house. That's where you have the sign of Aries. Oh, I do have to mention, sorry, back to your 10th house here. You know, you do have Jupiter still in your sign until June, right? And with planets being in your 10th house, if you were looking for a new position somewhere, now that these Venus and Mercury are direct, you may hear back from something that you inquired about, that you applied for, whatever. Okay, so you could actually get a position that you've already either turned down or you weren't contacted about it. Maybe they went with someone else, but now someone is contacting you again about a previous position that you either held or were interested in. Okay, so now we're into all these planets in Aries in your 11th house of friends and acquaintances. This is socializing in person or online. This is like going where you would normally go to hang out. Any kind of group or organization that you belong to, and also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. So, you know, especially with the sun here, you may feel like getting out and seeing your friends. Maybe you haven't seen them for a while, or maybe you already have plans to attend some kind of live show, you know, a play or a concert, or go to a bar, some kind of event possibly happening that you had already planned on going to. You know, it could be a party or something or other, you know. There is a full moon in Libra on the 12th in your 5th house, which is directly across from your 11th house of Aries. The 5th house being the house of fun and romance, creativity, gambling, speculation, all kinds of entertainment, games and sports, and anything to do with children, okay? So around this full moon, you may have a little bit of a tiff with like a friend or an acquaintance. They could say something kind of cocky to you that maybe you usually let slide any other time, but you're really tired of it. So that's why the full moon is there, is to stop something, correct something that's been going on, and then get rid of it. You don't have to deal with it again, okay? This could even come like with a child, possibly, you know, that maybe gets in the way of your plans sometimes. You have to stop whatever it is you're doing to take care of them, and it's something unreasonable. They're just acting up, okay? Or, you know, it could be some kind of event, even a party or a gathering of some kind where you just, I don't know, finally set the record straight, let's say with a group of friends or a person or an organization that you belong to, okay? The sun does move into Taurus on the 19th. There's a new moon in Taurus on the 27th, and Uranus is still in Taurus, but will be briefly moving into Gemini in like July, Okay, so this is all happening right now, though, in your 12th house of behind-the-scenes activities by you or someone else, secrets and confidences, the house of the subconscious mind and dreams, the house of self-undoing, because you can drive yourself crazy by overthinking things, also the house of charity and confinement, okay? So, with this new moon does bring a new beginning in some way or other. You could come across information that makes you, I don't know, decide to move a certain way, go in a different direction, or just change your plans. But it's better to suit a timeline, I believe, that you're trying to do something by a certain time. Okay, so, you could be making these plans, from the rest of the month, from the 19th on, around that new beginning. New moon brings a new beginning, so that looks like that's exactly what you're doing, is changing something. Okay, I do have to mention Mars moves into Leo again. Okay, it's been going back and forth between Cancer and Leo, so you've already experienced this, right? Right now, though, Mars is still in Cancer up until the 18th in your second house of earned income and possessions. With having Mars here, it does make you aggressively go after either another source of income that you're creating, or you're going after money that is already due you. Okay? Now, when Mars moves into your third house, where it has already been, okay, third house being your everyday life, your neighbors, your neighborhood, people and places you would encounter throughout the normal course of your day. It's your siblings and cousins, all forms of communication, including regular postal mail and short distance travel, which is like a day trip, overnight trip, a weekend trip, and it's usually a road trip. Okay? So having Mars here, you've been very busy in your own neighborhood, maybe changing things to, something possibly going on within your area, or with your neighbors. The neighborhood in some way or other could be changing. Whatever, you're just looking after your own best interests and trying to make sure that whatever may be changing is not affecting you and where you live. Okay? So the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Gemini on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 29th, and 30th. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Sagittarius, and those dates are the 16th, 17th, and 18th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 11th, 12th, 13th, 25th, and 26th. The best time for money is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. The best time for your career is the 23rd and 24th, and the best time for communication and travel is the 6th, 7th, 8th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. So I hope you enjoyed your forecast for April. Be sure to check out my weekly forecasts, which are now daily shorts. See ya!